In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NCAAB games happening on February 13, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these NCAAB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like access to our exclusive betting picks, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Now let's get started. UCONN versus St. John's. The UCONN Huskies bring their 16-7 record to Madison Square Garden to face St. John's on Sunday afternoon. The Huskies are clinging to a slot in the top 25. Having lost 3 of their last 4 games, they have taken on some tough foes, and the sole victory was against Marquette. The Johnnies are 13-10 and currently sit 8th in the Big East. They lost to Villanova on Tuesday and will look to right the ship in front of a big NYC crowd. The two teams met earlier this season in Connecticut, with UConn pulling out a thrilling overtime victory. The Connecticut Huskies have not been at their best lately. They are 1-3 in their last 4 bouts, including a road loss to Xavier on Friday night. They haven't been effective defensively, conceding over 70 points in 3 straight games. The St. John's Red Storm have won 2 out of their last 3 games and are a reliable team, covering in 5 out of their last 6. Furthermore, St. John's will have no issues scoring against a struggling defense. They have averaged a stellar 78 points in their last 3 games overall and have a better team field goal percent than the Huskies. These foes went to overtime in the first meeting, and the Red Storm will take this game. The UConn Huskies and St. John's Red Storm face off on Sunday at Madison Square Garden, which is considered a home game for St. John's. These two teams played on January 12th, and UConn won 86-78. St. John's is 13-10 straight up and 11-12 against the spread. In their last game versus Villanova, the Red Storm kept it close for a while, but ended up losing by 2 possessions. In their home games, St. John's averages 82 ppg on over 46% shooting, while giving up 71.3 ppg on under 40% shooting. They have not performed well against the spread in their home games, going 4-10 against the spread despite 10 straight-up wins. On the other side of the floor, UConn is 16-7 straight up and 11-12 against the spread. The Huskies have had some quality wins this year, but they struggled at Xavier on Friday. They gave up 40 points in the second half and could not score enough to overcome their defensive inefficiencies. On the road, the Huskies averaged 73.7 ppg on 42.5% shooting from the field, while opponents score 71 ppg on 42.6% shooting against them. St. John's has not performed well in underdog situations and now face a UConn team that should be motivated off a loss. UConn has the better defense in this matchup. UConn to win and cover the spread is our first full game side pick. Maryland versus Purdue. Maryland will be up against another tough task when it travels to Purdue on Sunday afternoon. The Terrapins are on a 4-game losing streak following a 110-87 blowout loss against Iowa on Thursday. Purdue had its 6-game winning streak snapped in a loss at Michigan earlier this week. There is just nothing inspiring about this Maryland team. The Terrapins have a lot of experience, but it has not paid off during tough times this season. They are amid their worst stretch of basketball of the season, looking lifeless in the blowout loss to Iowa earlier this week. Meanwhile, Purdue has been one of the best teams in the country and will be motivated after Thursday's loss to Michigan. The Boilermakers have bounced back after every loss this season and have only lost 1 game at home. Any way you slice it, Purdue is the much better team. The Boilermakers are ranked 10th in KenPom adjusted efficiency, while Maryland ranks 100th. Purdue should have no issues getting their explosive offense back on track against a Maryland defense that has been in shambles over the past 2 games. Look for Purdue to get plenty of good looks from long range against a Maryland team that struggles to defend on the perimeter. Purdue tends to bounce back after a bad showing, going 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games following a loss. Look for them to make a statement back on their home floor by dominating this game early and often. The Terps have lost 4 in a row heading into this Super Bowl Sunday game. In their last game, they gave up a whopping 110 points to Iowa in regulation. You just don't see that much scoring in a conference game, and it is hard to see how this trip to Purdue is going to be any easier. Maryland's only road win this season was at Rutgers. That is just a bit of an easier trip than to Mackey Arena. Purdue had a massive thud at Michigan on Thursday. They did not play well, but that game was also an outlier for the Wolverines, who had their best game of the season. Hunter Dickinson had not made 4 3-pointers in a game all season, and the whole Michigan team was hot from deep. At the same time, Purdue had their worst offensive game of the season, scoring just 58 points. The Boilermakers have not lost back-to-back games this season, and this one could be ugly for the Terps if they are angry off of the loss. This is a big number, and if you are going to back Purdue, you kind of have to pretend like the last game just didn't happen. The last 3 times that the Boilermakers have been favorites of 10 or more points against Big Ten competition, they are 3-0 straight up and against the spread. The Purdue side is where I am leaning, but I have to admit that is part love for Jad and Ivy and part frustration for Maryland. If Purdue scores 90, which is likely, they can win and cover with ease. Purdue to win and cover the spread is our second full game side pick. Northwestern versus Illinois. The suddenly hot Northwestern Wildcats take to the road as they travel to Champaign to take on the University of Illinois on Sunday afternoon. The Wildcats have won 3 straight games after enduring a 4-game losing streak. For the Fighting Illinois, they come in licking their wounds after an 84-68 road loss to Purdue ended their own 4-game win streak. A couple of factors that weigh heavily in this rematch from early January are points in the paint and second chance points. In the first matchup, Northwestern lost the rebounding battle overall, 36-30. But also were dominated in the paint. The Illinois scored 32 of their 59 points in the paint compared with just 16 points in the paint from the Wildcats. In addition, the Wildcats produced 0 second chance points compared with 11 for Illinois. They also shot the ball just 23% from the floor for the first half. If not for a good, but not great, shooting night from Pete Nance, the Wildcats lose by 15 and not just 3. Now fast forward to Sunday afternoon. The Illinois play host to Northwestern with their loss to Purdue still hanging in their heads and the need for a win to maintain first place in the Big Ten. I fully expect similar numbers in the paint in this one, but also much better perimeter shooting from the Illinois at home in this one. Northwestern has not traveled particularly well this year, at just 3-4. So they will not be able to withstand the interior domination this time around. Northwestern is playing well as of late, but the Illinois are, statistically, one of the best teams in the country. Northwestern is 61st in the sport with a plus 12.60 rating, while Illinois is 15th in college basketball with a plus 21.67 rating. These offenses are close but are scoring, as the Wildcats are averaging 70.3 points in their last 4 games, while the Fighting Irish is scoring 74 points in their previous 3 games. Illinois has a strong inside-out game featuring Cockburn and perimeter shooting feeding off double teams to the big man. They will exploit the Wildcat defense using this tactic. Despite giving Illinois all they could handle at home, Northwestern is in a tough spot in this matchup. The Illinois are coming off of a double-digit loss at Purdue and now sit just a half game ahead of the Boilermakers and Wisconsin in the Big Ten standings. We should see a focused effort, which is scary for Northwestern. Northwestern is riding a 3-game winning streak, but it's not been the most impressive of performances. They escaped at home in overtime against Rutgers, won at Nebraska, and then needed a second-half comeback to defeat an extremely short-handed Indiana team. This will be a major step up in class for the Wildcats, and they don't match up particularly well. The Illinois offense is built around pick and roll and Kofi Cockburn post-ups, both of which pose a challenge for Northwestern's defense. Northwestern ranks in the 54th percentile in pick and roll defense, and just the 40th percentile in post-up defense. Expect to see a bounce-back performance from the Illinois offense after they scored just 1.03 points per possession on Purdue's subpar defense. On the other end, the Illinois defense ranks second in the Big Ten in adjusted defensive efficiency. So expect Northwestern's offense to struggle to score enough to keep this within the number. Illinois to win and cover the spread is our third full game side pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel. Leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.